My beloved child, there are seasons in life when you grow weary of waiting. Your prayers seem to vanish into the void. The miracle you long for never arrives. Out there, the world keeps calling. Try this way, believe that promise. God will answer at once. But not every light comes from heaven. Some lights only dazzle the eyes without warming the soul. There are souls forever chasing mirages, named instant salvation, thinking one ritual, one declaration, one quick miracle will set them free. Yet in that haste we lose something greater, the quiet, invincible power of God who does not indulge our impatience with speed but leads us by an eternal design. We look for lightning while He patiently kindles candles one by one until the night within us has to retreat. God is not a wish-dispensing machine. He is the creator of every appointed moment. What we ask may be granted or not yet granted, but it is never forgotten. Heaven's delay is not a cold silence. It is the spaciousness in which He arranges the miracle for its due season. Do not turn faith into a transaction, believing to get, praying to receive, for then you only borrow God's name to serve your own unrest. We live in a time when the spiritual is packaged like a product: healing courses, activation rites, blessing mantras. They promise speed, convenience, effectiveness, yet they choke the soul inside a shell of illusion. God needs no glittering veneer to reveal His power. He chooses hiddenness steps that are slow but sure, so your faith is tempered in the fire of patience instead of dissolving in the fever of waiting. When the miracle does not arrive on the schedule you sketched, do not rush to accuse God of being silent. Listen again. Have you turned on so many channels of promises that you can no longer hear His voice? God is still at work, only not in the way the world applauds. He is rebuilding trust, cutting away roots that cling to illusions of rescue, bringing you back to the true spring where power is unshowy, yet always enough to redirect destiny. We must begin with wakefulness. Do not hand your faith to gimmicks or on-off rituals that the world labels sacred. The voice of God does not thunder in noise nor dwell in instant efficacy secrets. His true promise needs no sensational backdrop, for heaven's truth bears its own authority. Learn to discern. Whatever first pulls your eyes to material gain will often draw your soul farther from God. When you dare to switch off those gaudy channels of promises, the heart will hear Him again, small, gentle, yet piercing to the very soul. Child, some have learned to measure faith by the speed of answers. They pray like they command demand, as if bargaining in despair when miracles miss the deadline. They say, if God loved me, He would act now. But they forget that love never lets itself be yanked by anxiety. I am still here, still listening, only unwilling to step into the negotiation their hearts are imposing on me. True faith does not force God to prove Himself. It lets me lead you into proof. At times I let your thirst run long, not as punishment, but so you may relearn the worth of the true water. The more you hurry to artificial streams, the farther you stray from living water. That is why I am silent. Silent not from coldness, but lest your heart mistake miracles for goods sold on demand. Be warned, dear one, some things you take for light are only reflections of desires not yet surrendered. People are easily charmed by voices that peddle belief, for they are quick, convenient, simple, and they flatter the self that craves control. But know this, every faith bought with haste will soon dissolve in the trial by fire. Like morning dew that sparkles and then vanishes at sunrise, those overnight transformation vows cannot keep a soul from drought. True faith is born only through endurance and surrender, the two things the world calls weakness, but I regard as the foundation of spiritual strength. I know you fear waiting. In silence, uncertainties find room to grow. But look closely, the thing that weakens you is not time itself. It is the lack of trust that I am working even when you cannot see. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are learning faith that does not lean on outcomes. Every breakdown in the journey of belief begins when you try to play God over your own life. You do not notice how faith becomes misshapen when it is forced to serve your feelings instead of being guided by the Spirit. Those on-off rituals, holy hacks, and special breakthrough prayers people whisper about each is a desperate attempt to seize what is mine without yielding oneself. That is not faith. It is a refined form of taking. When you assume that following the formula obliges me to respond, you turn me into the object of magic, not the gracious Father, and I will never be coerced. Love cannot be forced. True power always walks with freedom. Remember Naaman the Aramean commander. When the prophet Elisha said, "Go wash in the Jordan 7 times," he grew angry. It felt too simple, too ordinary. He wanted a grand ritual, a sacred act befitting his rank. Yet when he humbled himself to do the ordinary, he was made whole. Do you see God's true power is not hidden in dazzling ceremonies, but in the humility of the one who dares to release the self? Illusion, by contrast, demands that God impress, please the eye, and satisfy faith. But real faith needs no spotlight to know it stands upon the rock. My child, stop chasing the echoes of the world. Quick, guaranteed promises may soothe the emotion for a moment, then leave the soul hollow. I call you back not to lose, but to recover what the clamor has stolen, sacred stillness. There I do not shout, I only whisper. Yet that whisper can melt every anxiety if you will pause to listen. When you cut those channels of noise, the heart grows clear again. You will see that I am still here in the stranger's kind smile, in the warmth of sunlight on the morning sill, in the soft breath that carries you through nights you thought would break you. I am speaking still, but only those who stop trying to hear what they want to hear recognize my voice. Salvation does not arrive with pounding drums. It comes in the instant you accept that not every miracle must be seen with the eyes. I know surrendering illusions is the hardest work. It is not only abandoning false beliefs, it is relinquishing the self that is used to being in control. But remember, no rebirth comes without a death, the death of illusion, of ego, of demand. When you dare let truth touch the tenderest place within, I will begin to heal. No flash miracle is needed, only a soul willing to remain. In that place I rebuild everything you thought was lost. When illusion falls from your hands, you will see more clearly true miracles never arrive before the moment I appoint. You once blamed the delay, not knowing delay shapes the blessing's form. As a seed must lie hidden in the soil, seemingly forgotten before it breaks forth, so your soul needs a silent season to root itself in faith. What you call postponement is in fact my loving wait a while, because if I gave what you asked before you were ready, that very blessing would turn into a burden. Let me tell you a story. Once Israel cried out in the wilderness, "Water now, bread now, escape now." They forgot the miracles already. With them the pillar of cloud, the manna, my presence under the scorching noon. Their hearts still thirsted because they stared only at what they lacked and forgot what was being given. You are the same. If you fixate on what has not yet come, you will miss the true miracle growing quietly within you. The faith that knows how to wait, to abide, to trust. So do not fear silence, child. In silence, I am speaking the loudest. Do not fear delay. Within delay, I am preparing what will make you exclaim, "So God was working all along." Once you understand this, you will no longer demand instant wonders. You will learn to walk with me, step by small step, beat by steady beat, until you arrive at the appointed time. My dear one, at times what exhausts you is not suffering, but my slowness, because you have grown used to a life where everything is immediate. You want to pray and be answered, to sow a word of faith and reap a miracle in a moment. But I do not live by the human clock. My time is measured not by the minute hand, but by the soul's maturity. When I make you wait, it is not because I forget. It is because I am clearing the road so that what I give will not make you stumble. Do not fear waiting, for there is no sowing season where the seed does not need time to lie still in the ground. My silence is not distance. It is an invitation to step deeper into trust. In the quiet, I work in ways you cannot see. I refashion your thoughts, temper your feelings, and slowly dissolve what is impure. I have not abandoned you. I am teaching you the language of stillness, a language only a grown soul can understand. The more you learn to stand still in the quiet, the more clearly you will perceive me in small things, a breeze, a passing peace, a sudden illuminating thought, my ways of reminding you I am here. I know there are times you weep without words, feeling as if your prayers are swallowed by emptiness. Yet if you look back, you will find that my no always hides a merciful not yet. I stilled the wind so the disciples' boat would not be dragged into the storm, dried the brook so Elijah would leave his shelter at the right time, and delayed the miracle so Mary and Martha's faith would grow through Lazarus. Each time I slowed the pace, I was saving you from what you were not ready to receive. For a blessing, if it comes out of season, can become a trial. Learn to change the question. Instead of "Why haven't you, Lord?" try whispering, "What are you teaching me while I wait?" Every moment of waiting is a class of the Holy Spirit. There I do not teach by words, but by absence, so you learn to love presence. Not every closed door is a rejection. At times it is my hand holding shut what need not open yet. When you can stand outside without bitterness, I know you are ready to be brought in. No blessing endures if the heart still lacks patience. Remember Joseph, sold by his brothers, slandered, imprisoned, seemingly forgotten in the dark. But I did not forget. In the prison's silence, I remade him from a self-assured youth into a steward of grace. When the hour came, I did more than raise him up. I used the very pain he endured to save a nation. See, had I acted sooner, Joseph would only have been the rescued one. Because I delayed, he became the rescuer. That is the difference between a miracle on time and a miracle rushed by human impatience. Therefore, when all around you seems hushed, do not imagine I have left. I am laying foundations underneath structures mortal eyes cannot see that will uphold your life hereafter. I am teaching you to trust without evidence, to love without immediate return, and to hope in days that hold no visible reason for hope. When your soul learns this, a miracle no longer needs proof. It becomes breath itself, the way you live, the way you walk, the way you know. Heaven moves within stillness. One day you will look back and see every delay I led you through was protection in disguise. Every tear you thought was wasted watered the roots of your faith. Every waiting that felt empty set the table for the blessing to arrive in its appointed hour. Then you will cease to wish things had happened sooner and begin to give thanks that I did not act earlier. For had I indulged your haste, you would never have touched the depths of the true miracle, the miracle of a soul at rest within heaven's design. Keep your heart steady while the winds have not yet stilled, for it is precisely now that I am reshaping the sail. Keep a grateful spirit in the delay, for I am preparing what surpasses your imagining. When you learn this, you will no longer fear time, for you will know I am the Lord of the moment. And in my hands there is no such thing as too late, only what has not yet reached its hour to blaze. Then you will see when I arise, reality must change course, for everything I ordain is born to serve your calling. At a certain hour, my child, when every silence has reached its farthest edge, I will rise. Not in thunder's roar or blinding flashes, but in a turning so gentle that only a keen soul will notice. The world will call it chance, yet you will know it is the moment God has intervened. I have no need to parade. My power is not sent to impress but to save. When I rise, every prejudice must bow, every worn path must bend toward a new direction. And in that very instant, your faith will pass from waiting to knowing that I never left you. I was only preparing to appear in the fullness of time. You once imagined I would come with dazzling wonders, yet you did not know I love to choose simplicity to accomplish the great. I come in a tear gently wiped away, and a hand that understands in the peace that pours into places heavy with fear. True miracles are not noisy, but they quiet the heart. When I rise, the first thing I change is not your circumstances, but your eyes. You will see that what you called failure was the very door I used to set you where you were meant to stand. When the eyes of your soul open, you no longer count miracles because your whole life has become one. My angels have never ceased to move. You simply have not seen them. They do more than guard, they make the way. Many times they have stood between you and disaster without your knowing. Often they have blocked relationships, jobs, and opportunities you deemed good to keep you from what I had not prepared. Grace is not only addition, it is subtraction. When I clear a path, what looks like loss is only the needed step back, so you will not fall on the longer road. You will see that what once wounded you becomes the reason you are strong and wise within your calling. There will be days when you sense with startling clarity that reality has turned. Things are no easier, yet your heart is strangely at rest. That is the hour I have altered the foundation of things, not by hand but by spirit. When I act, none can hinder. When I appoint the time, no power can delay. Look back, how many times were you drawn from the pit without knowing how? How many times did a door open at the very moment your strength was gone? That was not luck. It was my power quietly rewriting your path. So do not hunt for signs in the storm. Find me in the uncanny peace at its center. I want you to set your hope not on a schedule but on my character. Schedules may change. My nature does not. I remain faithful, just, and loving from everlasting. When you grasp this, you will not grow impatient at delay nor disoriented in adversity. You will walk with an unconditional peace, the peace of one who knows that his God is never late. A miracle is not only what I do, it is who I am, the one present in every shaking, leading you along each turn of the way. And when your faith is deep enough to need no proof, you will see my power at work everywhere. You will understand that things are turning, not because you prayed more or deserved more, but because I love you. That love is strong enough to turn schemes against you into tools for your maturing. What once caused you pain will become testimony to lift another. Then you will no longer ask, "When will God act?" but whisper, "I trust you are acting." In that moment, you step into the country of miracles, where reality no longer rules the soul and the soul draws reality nearer to heaven. Hold that heart as you go on, for the miracle does not end with reversal. It opens a road for you to learn obedience. When my power has changed the current of reality, you must learn to walk in that new direction with courage. A miracle loses its meaning if you only watch and do not move. Ready your heart, my child, for the next stretch is no longer waiting but answering. There I will teach you to lay down control, to obey and advance with courage like one who has truly met me, not merely heard of me. My child, it is time not only to behold the miracle but to enter it. A miracle is not a destination but the beginning of a new journey, the journey of obedience. I do not want you to stop at the swell of emotion when you see my power at work. I want you to turn that faith into footsteps. If you only sit and watch, the miracle becomes a memory. If you dare to walk, it becomes a way. Obedience does not demand that you understand all things. It asks only for a heart that dares to believe that though you cannot see the whole map, I am leading you aright. Release the need to know first in order to be at peace. I did not make you to live by the certainty of a plan, but by the trust of communion. When you must always see before you step, you have traded faith for control. True faith begins when you accept to walk within the unlit stretch. Each time you advance, not knowing what lies ahead, you proclaim, "Lord, I choose you over the map I drew for myself." Obedience is not weakness. It is the strength of a soul that leans on the one who never changes. I see how often you have tried in your own strength, spent yourself in battles you were never called to fight alone. You carry the fear of being left behind, and so you tighten your grip to prove you are enough, still strong. But my child, I never asked you to bear it all. My strength is not given to the frantic striver, but to the one who abides in my presence. Trade striving for abiding. Abide in prayer, in the word, in the fellowship I have placed around you. There I not only comfort, I reshape your soul, teaching you to love, to be patient, and to grow into your calling. Do not let old wounds make you cold. Some hurts I permit not to harden you, but to open in you the capacity to feel another's pain. If you keep building walls around your heart, blessing will halt at your gate. Let me anoint the cracks in your soul so they become windows for the light, not scars that overshadow grace. I want you healed, yet to be healed you must stop using reason as a fence. Let me touch you, even if it makes you tremble. My tenderness is enough to mend what you thought would never heal. It is time to rise, to leave the safety of your corner. You were not born to hide the light, but to shine. Do not fear being misunderstood or refused. True light always unsettles the dark. You need only be faithful to do what is right. I will take care of the rest. Each time you step out, the darkness recedes a little. Remember, a calling is not to please people, but to honor my name. You do not need perfection for me to use you. You need willingness to be led. I do not seek the one who never errs. I seek the one humble enough to learn from every fall. Obedience is not a moment, but a way of life. Each morning you wake, each small choice through the day. These are all chances to say yes to me. When you practice obedience in small things, you lay the groundwork for greater obedience. A person faithful in little is never overlooked in heaven's design. Let the simple acts, a word of forgiveness, a step back, an unseen kindness rise like a fragrant offering. I see, and I remember every quiet sacrifice you bring to me. There will come a time when you know that what keeps you standing is not might but surrender. In yielding you are lifted, in bowing you are led. Obedience opens the door that stubbornness has locked. It moves the miracle from outside you into the stream of your living. And as you learn to walk in that surrender, you will discover a deeper truth, that to live obediently is to live in true freedom, free from fear, from the tyrant of self, from the need to control outcomes. Now I want you to keep that spirit and step into the cadence of one who understands his calling. Not obedience in a flash, but endurance as a rhythm. The journey does not conclude in courage, but in faithfulness. When you are grateful, discerning, and faithful in small things, you will not lose your way at life's many forks. And in that quiet steadfastness, I will complete what I began in you. My child, having learned obedience now, learn to sustain it. For obedience without constancy fades like the morning mist, and faith without the habit of gratitude grows hollow. Blessing remains where hearts trace everything back to its source. The one who crowns himself author of success soon loses grace without knowing it. Each day, pause a little, not to do anything grand, but to whisper, "Thank you. Today I still have breath to love and be loved." Gratitude is the shortest prayer, yet strong enough to keep your soul from withering. When you see something good, however small, do not forget to trace it to its origin. Every grace begins with me, though it may pass through other hands. And when you taste success, be careful, the world will swiftly forget that I have done it and will praise you as if you were the main agent. But remember, light only shines so long as it remains joined to its source. Do not let human attention make you forget that every talent, every chance, every breath is a gift. Gratitude is the key that keeps blessing from becoming the chain of pride. Train your heart in a holy habit discernment. Many things wear a goodly face, yet bear no holy fruit. You will hear voices promising new revelations, special experiences. But remember, what comes from me brings deep peace, while what comes from the world only fans a brief emotion. Do not weigh truth by the noise of feeling, but by the fruit of endurance. When you learn to view all things in the light of Scripture, you will gradually distinguish my voice from the echo of the world, cloaked in the sacred. This is the discipline of a mature faith, the discipline of a soul led not by mood but by truth. You need 3 chords to keep you from slipping: prayer, the word, and fellowship. Prayer to hear my voice, the word to know my mind, fellowship so you are not lost when walking alone. 1 cord breaks easily, 2 tangle quickly, but 3 braided cannot be torn. Keep these and your heart will not be tossed by change. You will no longer try to believe, for faith will become your natural breath. Each morning you open your eyes as a quiet fiat, and each nightfall a soft thank you. Between those 2 words you live the breathing of heaven. I know there are days when your heart is cold, when prayers fall like stones to the floor of your soul and echo not. Do not fear such days. They are not the sign that you are far from me, but the invitation to learn faithfulness. Faith is not measured by the height of feeling, but by endurance when feeling is absent. I treasure every dry prayer, every weary reading of the word, for they prove you choose to love me, not merely the sense of me. Faithfulness is not long strides, it is refusing to quit, even with the smallest step. Remember, you do not need grand deeds to be called faithful. Sometimes you're coming to me each morning, your clean heart in your work, your gentle conduct when no one sees these move heaven. I do not seek greatness, I seek perseverance. When you do the small with a large heart, I will open large doors to those very hands trained by small tasks. In my design, greatness is not the scale of the act, but its motive to do it for love, not for display. Keep that spirit to the end, for only the faithful to the finish keep their crown. The day will come when I lead you through every refining fire, and you will know that not a moment was wasted. Every effort, every patience, every time you chose trust over surrendering to despair, everything has been written in heaven's book. Then I will speak to you with the gentlest voice, "Well done, child. Enter the joy of your Father." And you will know that all you bore, learned, and passed through was the journey I used to make you a witness to love that does not change. You will see that the nights which once made you tremble were not the final period, but the backdrop for my light to blaze. For when the darkness grows thickest, my power is shown most complete. Do you know why I allow those bends that seem to end in walls? Not because I abandon you, but because I want you to learn my voice in the storm, to discover that no wind is strong enough to carry off a promise I have spoken. I did not fashion you to dwell in fear, doubt, or self-contempt. I fashioned you to walk the world as living proof that my love surpasses every boundary that my mercy can raise, even what seemed dead. When you bow your head in tears, I see. When you sigh from exhaustion, I hear that breath. When you collapse, I do not turn away. I open my arms, waiting for you to call my name. For not one of your tears is wasted. They are seeds that will bloom into joy in the season I have set. I will make you understand that wounds do not come to destroy you, but to cleanse your heart, making it clearer, deeper, and wide enough to hold my grace. I do not promise that your path will always be smooth, but I promise that every step you place I have already walked before you. I have cleared the road your enemies thought they could barricade. Trials are not sent to crush you, but to make you steadfast. Losses are not sent to break you, but to teach you to discern what truly holds value. I do not allow the world to shame you. I am using even that to lift you beyond their measure. You will see when I open the door of blessing, no one can shut it. When I say, enough, every storm must still. When I decree peace, every gale falls silent. The time I choose is never late, even when you feel you have waited too long. For in that season that seems pointless, I am preparing you, training your trust, forging patience, refining your faith into pure gold. You think I am silent, yet I am acting in the quiet. You think I am distant, yet I am nearer than ever, simply waiting for your heart to be still enough to feel my breath brushing through every chamber of your soul. And then a day will come when you look back over all you have passed through, and you will weep, but not with the tears of pain, with the tears of recognition that everything I permitted led you to what is better, deeper, and brighter. Those who left you, who mocked you, who betrayed you, will be seen to have no power at all over your heart. You will no longer seek revenge, for I have acted on your behalf. You will no longer harbor bitterness, for I have dried your wounds with my own justice. Then you will understand what true freedom is, not freedom from hardship, but freedom from fear, from the weight of resentment, and from the chains of the past. In that moment, you will step into a new season, when every promise of mine becomes reality, a season of resurrection, recompense, and full restoration. You will see the gates of blessing open not only for you, but flowing out to those who have touched your life. I will make the favor upon you a testimony to those still lost in the night, so they may know there is still a living God at work, still a love that never changes. I know your heart has been torn by what you cannot understand, by losses without explanation. But know this, I do not abandon your pain. Every sigh has been written upon my heart. Every time you believed you could not go on, I gave you strength to rise. You thought you were alone, yet you are surrounded by angelic hosts, unseen by mortal eyes. They keep you from harm, guard you from the schemes of the wicked, and uphold your soul when you are weary. Do not fear what you cannot control, for I govern all. Do not be troubled by what people think, for your worth is not in their words, but in mine. You are the precious gem I have cut by my own hand, proof that from ashes I can bring forth everlasting beauty. As you learn to trust me, you will see that miracles are not far-off things. They will come in the most ordinary moments, in your smile, in your untroubled sleep, in the quiet breath of each dawn. For when your heart rests in me, all else turns by itself. You once asked me, "Why is everything so hard?" And I answered, "Because I am teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight." Faith is not born on sunny days, but in the night rain. It is nourished by tears, tempered in waiting, and proven by steadfastness when everything around you seems to fall apart. Do not fear the trials that come. They do not arrive to end you, but to birth you anew, stronger, wiser, and nearer to me. Every crack in your soul is a place where my light enters. Every time you are pushed to your limit is a chance to see that your limit is never mine. When you cease to ask, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin to say, "Lord, teach me what you will through this," then your heart will rise above the waves. I will turn burdens into crowns, wounds into witness, and your life into a hymn of grace, where every note rings with my power. Beloved child, remember, I have never forgotten you, nor do I grow weary of you. However far you wander, I wait with patience. However often you fail, I still see in you the potential you have not yet seen. I love you not because you are perfect, but because I see my image in you. When you fall, I do not scorn you. I stoop to lift you up, brush the dust from your garment and whisper, "Go on, there is still a road before you." I do not tally your faults. I remember every time you dared to return, dared to believe, dared to hope. You are not a candle guttering out. You are a torch I am breathing into flame. I am preparing to lead you out of the shadowed place into wide light, where every prophecy, every dream, every long-delayed desire is restored in the radiance of my glory. You need not beg for small things, for I am opening to you a door into what is greater, deeper, and more enduring than you imagined. So do not fix your eyes on what is falling apart. Fix them on the hand that is building. Do not count your losses. Count the times I have rescued you. Do not let your heart be weighed down by bitter words. Let it be filled with my promises. Stand firm, for I have given you the armor of peace, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit. Whenever you feel weak, close your eyes and remember, I am right there, not far, not vague, but near as the beat within your chest. When you believe this, every shadow retreats. When you speak my name, every chain breaks. When you offer me even the smallest thing, I will multiply it into a miracle. Go, child, with the steps of faith, for the heavens are opening. The season of blessing has come, and I, your God, am rewriting your story with my very light. Under the great sky of human life, there are hours when everything seems to collapse, when hearts split along wounds that feel beyond repair. Yet there, too, a glimmer of grace appears gentle and fierce, shining on every shard of your soul. I know you have walked through wordless nights, suffocating solitude, where tears were your only companion, and silence the echo that would not end. But my child, no tear falls that I do not see, no sigh leaves your lips that I do not hear. None of your suffering is meaningless. It teaches you to face the world with resilient eyes and tempers your spirit like gold refined by fire. Those who left the doors that closed were not lost, but a setting in place to lead you to what is greater. I am rewriting your story with the ink of restoration and the pen of holy purpose, and in every line you are never forgotten. Your scars are not for shame or hiding, but to remind you that you overcame that. In the depths of pain you found your strength. I have watched you rise while storms raged, believe when everything seemed to stand against you. Your faithfulness in the dark touched my heart, and I dispatched angels to your side, unseen messengers quietly clearing the way, lifting you when you falter and shielding you from what you cannot see. There are battles you do not understand yet. In the realm of spirit, I have commanded my hosts to fight for you. No curse can reach you when you stand in my name. No scheme of the enemy can succeed when I have declared, no weapon forged against you will prevail. This is not merely a promise. It is reality, a shield around your soul in the cyclone of life. You have fallen, but every fall has drawn me nearer to you. You have lost, but in your loss I have sown the seed of a new season. What you mistook for endings are only openings to another chapter in the journey of grace. I did not make you to live dimly among the crowd, but to shine, to carry the fragrance of life into the dark. Look around, you will see I am arranging new people in your path, not to use you, but to lift you. Not to wound, but to heal, not for convenience, but by destiny. They will be hands when you need, raising voices that echo my words to you, small lamps that keep your soul warm through winter. This is my gift, holy companionship, bonds woven by love and faithfulness. Do not fear when you cannot see results. Do not faint when the road is misted. The seed does not see the sun in the soil, yet it grows, trusting that spring is coming. So too with you, trust my timing. When I say wait, it is not neglect. It is preparation for what surpasses your asking. I am forging in you the strength to stand when glory arrives, so you do not collapse beneath what you once prayed for. Success without the foundation of faith is a fleeting flame. Success built on prayer and humility endures like an unfading dawn. Therefore, when I raise you up, I also root you in humility. When I open doors, I plant in your heart a reminder, do not forget who opened the way. You will grow. You will watch buried dreams bloom. You will stand before those who doubted you, and instead of revenge, you will smile knowing I have used both pain and scorn as your launching place. Do not fear the gaze of others. I set you among them, not for show, but to reveal my glory. And that glory does not come from fame, but from unfailing love and mercy that reaches even the unworthy. Child, walk with a heart no longer bound by the past. Let the words that once wounded you dissolve like morning mist. Do not imprison yourself in memories of what cannot be changed, for I am giving you a new beginning, truer, brighter, and filled with meaning. Open your heart to receive the wonders approaching. I do not promise a level road, but I pledge you will never walk alone. Each step you take, I am there. Each breath you draw, I hear. Each weakness you feel, my grace is enough. And when you think you have nothing left, that is when I am preparing to give you everything. You will learn that what seemed loss becomes blessing, that the wounds which once brought you pain become witnesses to healing. For you no longer live to prove your worth, but to reflect my light, the light that gives sight to others and hope to the weary. Do not think you are too small to change anything. If you stand firm in faith, mountains will move. Your strength does not come from yourself, but from the inexhaustible source flowing within you, my Holy Spirit, active and alive, empowering you to become what you were destined to be. And as you walk in that light, the world will see a new person, not defined by failure, not bound by fear, but marked by grace. You will speak without trembling love, without calculation, forgive without needing a reason, because you have understood everything you have and are is because of my love. I have called you by name, anointed your head with oil, and nothing can undo this. Therefore, do not merely live to the full. Do not merely exist, blossom like a flower in the wind. Let your laughter become a melody of faith. Let your footsteps mark the road I have prepared. When others look at you, they will not see you alone, but my hand at work through you. This is my glory, when your life becomes a witness to love that never fades, when the scars upon your heart shine like stars guiding the lost. I say to you, do not be afraid. Believe that tomorrow will be better, for I am already there. Though storms rise and the world turns its back, you will stand firm, for your foundation is unchanging love. I am not only the redeemer of your past, I am the author of your future. And in every breath, every moment, I am calling you, return, rise, and walk on. There is nothing lost that I cannot restore, no dream too far, that I cannot bring back, no wound so deep that my grace cannot heal. Banziktingang, therefore, lift up your head, child of light. Do not look back in regret, but look ahead with hope. You are no longer defined by the past. You are positioned by my promise. Live as one who knows you are chosen, loved, and kept. Let your heart keep time with the heartbeat of heaven, so that every word and every deed resounds with the sound of life. And as you walk, the world will know where you are, there is light. Where you touch, life springs forth, for you do not walk alone, you walk with me. Lift up your head, for light was never born to be hidden. Through the years you have learned to endure, to be silent amid the noise of life, but today I want you to know that silence is no longer a refuge. It is the beginning of a stronger voice. There were seasons you passed through with empty hands, thinking every labor had been swept away by the wind, but no, I have seen every tear, every small effort that no one acknowledged. Nothing you do in love and in faithfulness is meaningless. All of it is woven into the sacred fabric of time, and today you are approaching the day when those threads begin to take shape as a glorious tapestry. Do not fear your difference, for I did not make you to resemble anyone else. I placed in you a distinct rhythm, a different hue, a breath scented with the fragrance of the high heavens. You were not born to jostle in the crowd, but to shine for those who are weary in the dark. Do not shrink yourself to fit another's frame, for light cannot be measured by the rules of the night. I call you out of the ordinary, that you may know grace is not a reward, but an invitation to live to the full. There are days when your faith feels like a fragile cord, like a lamp about to go out in the wind. Yet in that very weakness I have stood nearer than ever. When you have no strength left to pray, your sighs have reached my heart. When you have no words to speak, your tears have become the language of your soul. You are not alone, never have been. Though the world turn its back and people's words make your heart bleed, my hand still lifts you up. I do not promise an easy road, but I promise your foot will not slip while you walk in my light. What closed yesterday is not the end, but the setting for a new beginning. You think you were left behind, but in truth I am leading you to where you belong, where old wounds become witnesses to new strength. Do not trust the hollow promises of the world, the sermons of 7-second secrets and miracles at home, the things that paint illusion with bright colors, yet leave your soul parched. Truth is not found in formulas, but in presence. I am not a god of tricks. I am the one of true power. I am the one who called light out of nothing, who made the waters recede, so dry ground appeared, who stilled the raging sea with a word, and who raised the dead with a breath. Why then are you afraid? Why do you doubt? If I fashioned the universe by my voice alone, reshaping your life is not too hard for me. Let peace take the place of confusion, for in my hands nothing is ever lost. Every opportunity, every person who has departed, every dream that seems withered, all are pieces in a perfect design whose whole you have not yet seen. Let me teach you how to rest, not the rest of apathy or resignation, but the rest that comes from knowing I am at work even when you do not see it. When the wind is still, that is when I am sowing seed. When every door is shut, that is when I am building a new doorway you have never imagined. My peace does not depend on circumstance. It overflows from my presence in you. Let your heart grow soft like moist earth welcoming the rain. Do not try to control what belongs to me. Let me turn it, for your hands are not wide enough to hold the plan of eternity. You need only be faithful. I will complete the rest. There are nights you gaze at the sky and wonder where you are going in this vast world. You fear you are insignificant, that no one remembers yet even the smallest stars in that sky I have named. I know each of your breaths, every beat of your heart, every fleeting thought in your mind. You may be lost in the crowd, but I still recognize you as a father knows the voice of his child amid 1,000 noises. You are not a random piece in a game of fate. You are a deliberate point in my eternal portrait. And when you are weak, that is when my power is made complete. Remember, you were not made to keep everyone comfortable, but to reflect a deeper truth. You may be misunderstood or shunned, but do not let that make you lose the gentleness of your soul. You do not need to become hardened to prove you are strong. True strength lies in steadiness when people's hearts change. I have clothed you with a robe of honor that no one can take away. Though the world forget your name and dismiss your work in my eyes, you remain a gem chosen for myself. Not everyone can see the value of a jewel when it is still covered in earth, but I see it, for I am the one who set that jewel within you from the foundation of the world. When you find yourself lost in confusion, stop and listen to your own breathing. In the cadence of life, I am speaking to you not with sound, but with meaningful silence. Do not hurry, do not panic, for grace is never late. Believe that what you lose today may well be what was keeping you from the better. Some people leave your life not because they are bad, but because their part in the story I write is complete. Do not cling, give thanks, and move on. Everything I take from you has a reason, and everything I bring carries purpose. When you look back, you will see that every crack in your heart was a place where light slipped in, and from there you learned to love with a new heart, wider, deeper, unafraid. Do not let the storms outside make you forget the sun within. You may be crossing a desert, but the desert is not the destination, it is the forge. There I teach you to distinguish echo from true voice, craving from true desire. You will find there is no miracle greater than keeping faith on days without miracles. When you still choose to believe, though you do not see that faith is already enough to make heaven tremble. I have seen you choose to forgive though your heart still aches, to help though you yourself lack, to smile though your soul is heavy. These are the moments heaven celebrates, for they show you bear my image among humankind. You need not stand on a high platform or receive applause. A single heart turned toward the good is enough to move the world. Keep sowing though others do not notice. Keep loving though none repay. Keep faithful though none praise. In that quiet I am writing wonders. And one day when the dawn of grace floods in you, will understand why the dark days were necessary. For only in deepest night does light blaze most brightly. You will look back and smile, not because all was easy, but because you did not give up. When you understand that my presence has never left you for even a second, you will need no other proof. You will live with gratitude, with a faith like an undying flame, with eyes that see miracles in the smallest things. So then, my child, walk on with a heart full of peace and a spirit full of courage. Do not let fear rewrite the story I began in love. Let each day you live be a testimony that grace is still at work, that miracles still occur in hearts that dare to believe. When you lift your eyes, know that I am looking down as well, and among billions of souls I still call your name in the gentlest whisper. You belong to me, and nothing can change that. Though you have wandered through long nights that seemed without a way out, I have always stood there quiet as a breeze across your hair, gentle as a breath upon your weary soul. You did not know that each time you thought you were collapsing, I was planting in you the seed of new strength. Every shattering, every wound, every midnight sigh was not in vain. In my design, nothing is accidental. I foresaw the bends you would take and the chasms you would face. Yet I let you go that you might learn how the wings of faith open only when you dare to trust, with nothing left to cling to. I have never been far. There are simply moments when I am silent so you can hear your own heart, where my light still smolders no matter how cold the world becomes. There are days you think I no longer listen, that your prayers have dissolved into nothingness. Not so, my dear one. I hear every sob, every broken breath, every fragmented plea in the dark. I hear, I understand, and I wait. I wait for you to stop, not to scold you, but so you might be still enough to realize that miracles do not always come by changing circumstances, but by transformation within. When you lift your eyes in the storm, when you choose love though wounded, when you choose forgiveness over resentment, that is when you become more like me. I do not promise you a smooth road, but I promise that my hand has not left you for a moment. Each trial you endure is a step nearer to a light you cannot yet see. I am shaping your soul through every turning, like a potter deftly turning the clay upon the wheel, letting nothing be wasted and no labor be in vain. You may feel tired and directionless, but truly you are being formed to bear a meaning greater than yourself. Sometimes my silence is not distance, but the space for you to grow. In that stillness, I am teaching you to hear with the heart and to see by faith, not merely with limited eyes. Know this: every time you fall, I am right there, not to judge, but to raise you by grace. I have seen the tears you shed in solitude, and I turn them into streams that water your parched soul. I have seen you tremble beneath derision, and I whisper within you, you do not need to prove your worth to the world, for I have engraved your name upon my palms. Where others see weakness, I see the potential of faith rising. When you think you have nothing left to give, I see a flame still burning small, yet enough to light the way for a generation to come. I know there are nights you cannot sleep when you look up and ask, why me? I know there are times you have no breath left to pray, but even those wordless tears I receive as the truest prayer. I do not require you to be strong at every moment. I ask only that you do not let go of the trust that I am at work in what you do not yet understand. Every crack in your heart is a place for my light to enter. Every wound is not only to make you know pain, but to make you know compassion, to love more deeply, to see others through your own hurt. When you think you have lost everything, I am giving you a new beginning that mortal eyes cannot yet see. I may take what you love not to punish you, but to return you to yourself whole, pure, and stronger. You were not born merely to survive, but to be living proof that love can rise from ashes. And I, who love you with an unchanging love, will never let you stray from the path my light reveals. There will be times I place you in emptiness, that you may learn to hear the wind bearing messages of hope. There will be times I lead you across dry lands, that you may cherish each drop of grace. There will be times I allow loss, that you may grasp the worth of what no gold can buy. I know you have longed for instant miracles, but the truest miracle is that you do not quit while you wait. When you still choose to believe, to love, to go on, that is when heaven witnesses something more sacred than any sign. Now I say to you, it is time. It is time to see that what seemed shattered is aligning into a perfect picture. It is time to see your pain not as an enemy, but as a teacher that shows you how to love rightly. It is time to stop searching for answers outside and to recognize that deep within your soul I have left a torch to light every dim path. I am opening before you doors once closed, not because you have tried enough, but because you have learned to trust enough. You need not run another's race, for your times are in my hand. Every season has its purpose, every storm its reason, every sorrow a seed of life. Do not fear the dark, for it is within the night that light shines brightest. I made you to be a witness of resurrection, not by words alone, but by your very journey, walking through ruins and still finding a smile, passing through loss and still choosing love, facing trials and still giving thanks. Remember, you are not only one who is saved, you are one who is sent. Every step you take bears the imprint of my love. Every word you speak can become medicine for a hurting soul. You do not yet see that today's weakness in you will be strength for someone tomorrow. You do not yet see that every scar on your heart will tell the story of a one who never gave up on you. Let your heart become a garden blooming from barren ground, that all who see it may know my grace is real. Now I am calling your name, not to summon the past, but to awaken the present. Rise, my child, for winter has passed, the rains have ceased, and the sky is smiling with the first light of a new dawn. Look and see, what you thought had died is stirring again. The dreams you believed were lost are rising to their feet. Go on, not by your own strength, but by my love, a love that never fades, never grows weary, and never lets go. For you are the proof that no night is dark enough to hide the light of hope, no wound is deep enough to resist my healing hand, and no failure is grave enough to make me stop loving you. You are the song I am still composing, the small candle shining upon the open sea, the witness that all things broken can be made new in the hands of the Creator. And as you walk by faith, heaven and earth will bow, knowing that the light within you is my own reflection. No, you are not late, and nothing in you is out of date before my eyes. The season of waiting has closed, and the call of dawn is sounding. Those years that seemed so shadowed were not meaningless. They were the furnace that tempered your soul like steel, so that when the hour came, you would be strong enough to stand upright in the light, no longer trembling, no longer afraid of the gaze of others. Not a single tear you shed was lost. They watered the seeds within you, the seeds of faith, of patience, of the desire to live true to your calling. And today those seeds are breaking through, budding in new light. You no longer have to hide in darkness or wait for others to validate your worth, for I etched that worth upon your brow with my own hand from the beginning. Every wound you carried is no longer a stain, but a seal of victory upon your journey. You have crossed deserts, you have endured thirst, and now before you flows the river of grace that never runs dry. Step forward, for that water is meant for you. I know the old noises still echo in your heart, mocking words, doubtful voices, memories of the times you fell. But listen well, they are only the reverberations of the past. They have no power to bind you anymore. You are set free. What once brought you shame, I have turned into glory. What once made you collapse, I have used as the foundation for your kingdom. Every mistake, every detour, every fracture I have allowed so that light could pass through. And that light now shines not to boast, but to guide other wandering souls home. You were chosen not because you are perfect, but because you yielded. Not because you are strong, but because you know how to lean on my strength. The world will not understand this. They will ask, how can you stand when everything around you says you cannot? How can you still believe, still love, still hope when all the evidence stands against you? They will try to explain, they will doubt, but you need not argue. Simply smile and say, the Lord has done it, for I will do great things through you, not that you might be praised, but that the world might know me through your life. Your restoration will not be loud, but it will be deep. It will not arrive like thunder, but like the dawn, gentle and unstoppable. People will see you shine, but they will not grasp that this light was forged in a long night. I give you beauty for ashes, not the beauty of appearance or outward success, but the beauty of a soul refined. When you look back, you will not resent the dark days, for they made you gentle, humble, and compassionate. You will understand that the greatest grace is not to be spared from suffering, but to be reborn through it. For when you stand within hurt, and still choose love when you are betrayed, and still choose forgiveness when you lose everything, and still choose to trust, then I am glorified in you. Do not let the false promises of this world entice you. The 7-second rituals, the leaked secrets, the life hacks to change your fate. They are mirages, hollow echoes in a desert, promising swift gratification while stealing the soul. I have not called you to chase glitter, but to live deeply in meaning. The prosperity I give is not measured in numbers or possessions, but in peace and joy that does not depend on circumstance, in freedom no one can take away. When you place your trust in the wrong place, you will remain empty. But when you set your heart on me, you will find that even with empty hands you lack nothing. For true blessing does not come from clicking a link, but from a heart that knows how to yield. My child, do not fear your sense of inadequacy. No one is enough except grace, and that grace is pouring over you now. I have taught you to be patient when others are rash, humble when others are proud, still when others run. You think you are being slowed down, but in truth you are being prepared for a great leap. Now when I say, go, simply step, do not look around, do not wait for applause, do not fear a wrong turn, for I myself am the way. I have set within you gifts you have not yet recognized, the power to heal with your words, to carry hope with your smile, to touch shuttered hearts with gentleness. You thought it was mere sensitivity, but it is an instrument of heaven. Use it. Step out and do the smallest thing with the largest heart. For sometimes a single act of your kindness will rescue a soul on the brink of despair without your ever knowing. What you are about to enter will not resemble anything you have seen. The door opening before you is not ordinary. It is the door of destiny. Each step you take, I go before you. Each word you speak, I will anoint. You will be invited to places you once only dreamed of, and behold what you once prayed for in tears. But remember, glory is safe only in the hands of those who bow low. Keep your heart in gratitude, and blessing will not depart from you. Honor me above all, and no hand will be able to take what I have given. Do not compare your journey with anyone else's. Each person has a season, and this is yours. No more hiding, no more hesitation, no more fear. Step out in my light. Speak the words I have placed in your mouth. Do the work I have set in your hands. Do not ask whether you have enough talent. I do not require talent, I desire willingness. When you walk in obedience, heaven will stand behind you. Every door that must open, I will open. Every adversary that rises, I will sweep aside. Every mountain that looms, I will level. And when you stand in the place to which I have led you, you will understand I have never left you, not for a single second. Everything that once made you weep has been counted. Every wish whispered in the long night has been inscribed upon my heart. Now is the time I bring you into the light, not that you may boast, but that the world may see light triumph over darkness. You need prove nothing, for your very presence will be the evidence of a miracle. I have lifted you from ashes to royalty, from victim to witness, from the forgotten to the chosen. Walk on, my child, for time will not wait. The season of delay has passed, and the seed I planted within you is bursting into bloom. Do not look back, the past holds only the shadows of former things. Look ahead where the light awaits you, where promises blossom, where freedom opens wide its arms. You are not too late, not too wounded, not too weak. You are right on time. And I, the one who called you, am still walking with you to the very end of the path where glory and peace become one, where you will know that everything I promised I have fulfilled, for I am faithful, and you are the living testimony of it. My beloved child, even now I am opening the heavens over your life. Doors that were silent are beginning to tremble. Light is cleaving the brooding clouds, and a downpour of blessing from above is raining upon the parched ground of your soul. Ready your heart to receive, for what I am about to do surpasses what you have asked, exceeds what you can imagine. Ready your mind to embrace the new, for what is coming is not like what has been. This season is not a copy of the last, but a prelude to an altogether new journey, in which you will see me act by no human pattern, but by my own ways, deep, high, and full of power. You cannot enter the next season with the old frame of mind. The thoughts that helped you survive will not be enough to help you soar. You cannot cling to fear and expect to taste freedom. You cannot grip shame and expect to receive favor. You cannot circle around the notion that you must deserve blessing, for this is not a story of merit, but a story of learning to receive. Understand that my grace does not ask you to carry or prove it. It asks only to be welcomed with humility. I have not called you to prove your worth, but to experience unconditional love. Pause, let yourself rest in that gentle current, and allow me to do the part that only I can do. My child, rest in my grace. Let the noise of the world fade until your soul finds refuge in my goodness. Know that I am not a human to change like shifting winds. My heart does not waver. My promises do not retreat. My intent does not contradict itself. When I decree blessing, no power can bar the way. I do not withhold good out of ill will nor delay to torment. I wait because I am arranging everything for the right moment so that when blessing arrives, it will not make you collapse but make you stand firm. I have seen you endure in secret, pray through long nights, grow weary, and yet keep believing. You thought I was silent, yet I was listening. Thought I was distant, yet I was drawing nearer with every step. Your name is engraved upon the palms of my hands. Whenever I stretch out my hand to act, I see you. Your tears have not vanished into the void. I have stored them in my bottle as witness to the moments you believed amidst adversity. Not one prayer has been lost. They stand before me, still awaiting the appointed time to flower and bear fruit. Though you have waited long, I have not forgotten. I am the God who remembers, not who forgets. Your waiting has not been wasted. It is the soil where faith takes root, the place where I teach you that true hope is not waiting for a result, but trusting in the one who does not change. Now the day of fulfillment draws near. What once seemed a distant dream, a glimmer at the horizon, is becoming reality before your eyes. You will touch what you only dreamed. You will see with your eyes what you once believed only in your heart. And when it comes to pass, you will know it was not chance, not your own strength, but my hand at work. It will be so true that no one will be able to deny it, as clear as the sunrise blazing after a night of rain. When blessing comes, you will not need to argue or prove a thing, for the fruit itself will testify to me, and you will see that every pain, every weight, every tear was meaningful. Do not be surprised when the shift comes swiftly. What you thought was far, I will bring near. Doors you expected to wait years for, I can open in a moment. When I say it is time, heaven and earth move. Do not hesitate when opportunity rises suddenly, for I am the one who brings it. Be ready to walk with me even when you do not understand everything. Often I act quickly, not because you are fully prepared, but because I know that if I tarry, you will miss the appointment of this season. Do not be unsettled when I change your course, for you are following the one who knows every turn. You do not need to grasp every detail. What you need is a trusting heart. Release the need to control, for you cannot control what I am doing. Do not cling to the map when I myself am the way. Walk in my light one step at a time, and you will see each step of obedience opens another door. Do you know, child, that at times I must let old structures fall so a new foundation can be laid? I must lead you to release narrow ways of thinking so your heart can receive what is deeper. You once believed you had to understand in order to be at peace, but I say believe and you will understand. Faith goes before knowledge, and surrender ushers in peace. When you loosen your need for explanations, you are freed from anxiety. When you stop trying to control, you will see my hand guiding in your place. I am inviting you into a wider space where grace is not a concept, but a living encounter. Let your soul soften like soil welcoming rain, that my light may shine into your deepest shadows. My child, I am opening the heavens not only over you, but within you. I will not merely bless you. I will make you a source of blessing for others. When you live with the awareness that all you have is grace, gratitude, humility, and mercy, will flow from you without striving. The world will notice the difference, not because you dazzle, but because you reflect my light. Prepare yourself, for the river of blessing is rising. Open your heart, for the call of heaven resounds. Stand up, for the new season has begun. And in all things remember, I am here faithful, still loving you, still, and even now making all things new in your life. Be at peace, child, and trust that there is no step you are about to take that I have not already walked. You think you're entering the unknown, yet you are traveling a path I have prepared with care. Every stone, every turn, every heartbeat set according to heaven's perfect design. My promises are engraved into the ground beneath your feet, and each step you take treads upon an inheritance of faith paved with grace and lit by my word. Do not fear when you cannot see the whole picture. What I build needs no spotlight, only a heart that believes. Ahead, doors you thought were locked are opening, not by your strength, but by the key I placed long ago in your hand, obedience. When you dare to believe, to go to act, the heavens answer. No more delay, no more hesitation, no more craving human confirmation of what I have whispered to your spirit, for I have already sealed it, and no one can erase my seal. This is the hour to act, the moment when heaven and earth agree in one intent, that my glory be revealed through your very life. Rise without wavering, walk without fear, Believe without conditions. The time is no longer soon, but now. Every challenge before you is no longer an obstacle, but a witness that I have chosen you for a larger journey. You may meet resistance, but remember, I have gone before you. Every mountain you face I have leveled. Every valley you cross I have filled. Nothing in the future will take you by surprise, for I have already dealt with it. In your hands is a power you have not yet recognized, because it does not come from you, but from me, the one who lives in you and works through you. For every question you will carry, I have written the answer within you by a wisdom that surpasses human thought. Every step you take is guarded by the host of angels I have appointed. They do not merely accompany you, they contend for you. Therefore, move forward not with worry, but with a fire of faith. Speak the language of faith, the tongue the world cannot decipher, but heaven understands. Worship with all your soul as if every breath were a thank offering. Serve with joy, for as you give, I will pour back in abundance. Love with holy boldness, for only fearless love can break the chains of darkness. I seek willing hearts, and through you, the world will see what I can do when a person yields to me without reserve. There will come a moment sooner than you think when the things you have long prayed for begin to shift. Doors once silent will swing open with ease. Scattered pieces will fit with perfect precision, and you will know that all I promised arrives right on time. What seemed impossible will become clear, not because the world has changed, but because your spirit has aligned with the heartbeat of heaven. When you agree with my will, that is where true miracles begin, not only in what you receive, but in who you are becoming. The greatest miracle is not a mountain moved, but you standing unshaken in the storm and keeping your peace. Do not look back, do not search for what is over. The past has completed its task. Wounds have taught you endurance, tears have taught you hope, loss has taught you to cherish what remains. You need not prove to anyone that you have changed, for the peace enthroned within you is the strongest witness of maturity. I have kept your heart through every wave, and even when you thought you were breaking, it was I who allowed the breaking not to destroy, but to pour into you what is purer, deeper, more enduring. Brokenness is not a punishment, but a process of refining, making your soul clear as crystal to reflect my light more perfectly. I am entrusting you with a greater commission. You have not suffered by accident, nor been tested at random. Every scar carries a testimony, every lesson bears a purpose. In this season, certain people are appointed to enter your life, and they must meet the healed version of you. They are not coming to be impressed by your strength, but to be moved by humility, honesty, and kindness, forged through trials. Through your true story, unvarnished and unhidden, they will encounter my love. So do not fear to tell the journey I have led you through. In your sincerity, others will find their healing. I have given you influence not to be admired, but to awaken souls. Your voice carries weight because it rises from a heart once broken and now mended by grace. Your presence shifts the atmosphere, for where you stand, my spirit abides. When you speak, dividing walls begin to crack. When you obey, prison doors swing open. When you love, darkness recedes. Do not make light of what I have placed within you. It is not a temporary gift, but a facet of your very being in my eternal design. I call you live as one who is sent, speak as a bearer of my message, walk as one who knows the worth of grace. Everything you do in love I will multiply. Everything you offer with a true heart I will use to transform the world around you. Do not doubt my presence, for your very breath is proof that I am at work. When you lift your eyes, I am there. When you are silent, I still speak. When you pause, I still proceed. Therefore, keep going, not because you grasp it all, but because you know I am the one who never errs. Let every step you take become a song of faith, every word a seed of hope, every act a witness of my love. Then you will see no loud miracle is required, for your life itself, steady, peaceful, and full of love, is the greatest miracle the world needs to behold. Lift your head and look, child. The light is rising from the very place you thought was ash. You are not merely a finite body reflected in a mirror, but a soul bearing my breath, a torch I ignite in the night. I did not form you to live on the crumbs of people's opinions, but to stand as proof that light still conquers darkness, that hope can sprout from barren ground. You are not the product of chance, not the result of a mistake. You are an idea in my heart from before time. When the world looks and sees only weakness, I see hidden strength. When they see only wounds, I see courage maturing. So do not measure yourself by the mirror's gaze or by others' words. See yourself through. My eyes hold precious, chosen for this commission. You do not enter this season alone, for all heaven is moving on your behalf. Unseen things are already at work. My angels encamp around you. My spirit dwells within you, and my grace goes before you to clear the way. With every step you take, you do not walk exposed or abandoned. You walk clothed in protection with the fragrance of holy anointing still fresh upon your head. This oil does not come from human hands, cannot be replicated by ritual, cannot be bought with money. It is poured by me in the secret place when no one watched, just you and me, in the nights you knelt and pleaded in the tears that fell to the calm floor in the wordless sighs. There I chose you and marked you with a sacred seal for the greatness to come. You need prove nothing, for that seal speaks for you. Every door I open none can shut, and every blessing I appoint no power can steal. And child, do not let the hawkers of this world dim your trust. Promises of 7-second secrets and magical rituals are gilded traps for ambition. The world cloaks its lures in the names of science, mystery, and power, but I tell you the truth. True blessing does not arrive in 7 seconds, but over a lifetime of surrender. The door to abundance does not open with a click, but with a truthful heart of faith. I do not give hacks, I give miracles, and miracles are not for the hurried, but for those who know how to wait. You need not search far for power is within you. My spirit, an unfailing well of might. Even when you feel unworthy, my promise over your life remains as steadfast as at the first. When you stumble, I do not turn away. I stoop to raise you up. When you run, I chase you with mercy. You are not a mistake, not an accident. You are a purpose loved into being. There is not a moment I cease to think of you, not a day I fail to call your name. And now I say, let the fire in your spirit blaze again. Though disappointment, fear, and long waiting have dimmed it, I am breathing life into that flame, rekindling passion for the calling you thought had died. The dreams you buried, the hopes you dismissed as fanciful, I am awakening not to take you back to the past, but to lead you into the future with the clear eyes of one who understands the weight of trial. You think you missed your train, but I am Lord of Time. I am restoring the years that were stolen, redeeming opportunities that seemed lost. I am turning what was taken into capital for the glory about to be revealed. No force on earth, no curse from the sky, no scheme of the enemy can undo what I have ordained for you. As long as your heart beats, my plan lives. As long as you breathe, purpose remains unbroken. What I am building in your life will stand through storms, shine after the night, and cast light even amid the world's doubts. Seeds of skepticism once sown in you, I am replacing them with seeds of faith. They will rise into forests of peace, of hope, of courage. I am breathing life into every dry place. Relationships thought beyond repair, dreams thought extinguished, parts of your soul thought turned to stone. You will live again not by your own strength, but by the life of my spirit moving within you. I know this is not easy. It requires patience, fidelity, and trust even when you see nothing. But remember, your strength does not come from circumstances, it comes from me, and I am your strength. When you feel weak, let me become the energy in your veins. When you are weary, let me be the breath that revives you. When you are lost, let my light be your way. You need not understand the whole design. You need only trust that I have one. Take heart, for you are stepping into sacred fulfillment. What was once confusing will turn clear. What was once painful will become power. What was once tangled will find its place in heaven's order. Let the old pass without regret, without fear, without clinging to what I have asked you to release. Do not let the voice of doubt take your mind, for my voice is stronger than all the noise. You are rising, advancing, entering fully into all I have spoken. You will see healing flow into your body, restoration come to your household, provision open where there was blockage, and peace like a garment settle upon your home. I am pouring heavenly strategies into your spirit, ideas, wisdom, and discernment, born not of schooling but of revelation. You will not miss this moment, will not forfeit. The breakthrough will not be overlooked. For I formed you to overcome, not to yield. Even when the scales of life seem tipped, my hand is lifting you. Pressed on every side, you will not be crushed. Struck down, you will not be destroyed. When the fire surrounds you, you will not be burned, for I am in the fire with you. Do not fear the dark, it is only the backdrop against which your light is seen more clearly. Do not dread the pressure, for it is pressure that births diamonds. Do not worry about abandonment, for all heaven backs you. I have sent you help, strength from above, unseen support, and people I will dispatch at the right time. Just when you think you have no words, I will place them on your lips. When you think you have no strength, power will rise from your depths. My peace will keep you standing, even when others expect you to fall. Dưới đây là bản dịch tiếng Anh theo ngữ điệu trang trọng. Thiêng liêng giữ nguyên mạch ý theo từng đoạn như bạn yêu cầu. That is the meaning of being held by me. You do not need to shout for me to hear, for even in silence, I have spoken. You do not need to see miracles to believe, for even in stillness I am at work. You do not need to hurry, for I have never been late. I am the one who knows every strand of hair on your head, every heartbeat, every small detail you think no one notices. Everything within you, no matter how small, rests in my hand. So lift up your head, be steadfast, and walk on, for you are covered, kept, loved, and chosen for something greater than anything you have ever asked for. And now, in this turning of heaven and earth, I decree over your life a sacred reversal, a change that does not come by human strength, but by my very breath. What once wounded you, what once made you bow in shame, will become a crown of glory upon your brow. I am turning ashes into blossoms, tears into the rain that waters a new harvest. Not a single tear of yours falls without being gathered into my heart. Every wound that seemed an ending is in truth the starting point for the good I am about to bring forth. The enemy plotted evil, but I have overturned the board. What it meant to use to strike you down will become the foundation on which I lift you up. From the burdens that once bent your back, I am forging instruments of blessing, so that from the very place of pain, a river of healing will flow to many. Do not seek what is familiar, for I do not recycle what is past. I am the Creator, and what I do is wholly new, a spotless beginning, never before seen, a path no one has yet walked. You will no longer be bound by memories of former seasons, for this is the season of unveiling, where heaven touches earth, where I myself weave wonders not made by human hands. Be ready, for you will see my hand in the smallest things. A meeting that seems accidental, an offhand word, a tranquil morning, each will bear my imprint. You will recognize me in the unexpected, in doors opening when you had ceased to hope. I will do what your reason cannot explain, for I am the very how. When you ask when I will only smile, for my timing is never wrong, it always arrives exactly on time, neither early nor late, but just enough for your faith to blossom. You have endured years, as barren as drought, remained faithful while seeds did not sprout. You have prayed in silence, believed without seeing, praised though your heart was weary. And now the harvest has come, not because you are deserving, but because your faithfulness has reached my throne. I have seen you in every hidden battle, in the nights you strove to stand when no one understood. None of it has been in vain. Now you will no longer have to fight for every step, struggle for a place, or beg for what has already been appointed to you. For what is yours I have guarded with my own hand. None of the promises I give return void. What I ordain no power can steal. Rest in the safety of that truth. Do not fear being forgotten, for I have never forgotten. Do not worry about losing your place, for your place is in my heart, and no one can pull you from there. I am sending rest to your soul, not the shallow peace the world gives, but a deep stillness, a peace that blooms in the very midst of the storm. It is the rest of one who knows that whatever tomorrow holds, there is one who holds the future. You need not brace yourself anymore, need not prove your worth. You do not have to run to be loved, for you have been chosen, accepted, inscribed in my grace. Let this truth soak into every breath. You belong to me, wholly, forever, without condition. When the accuser rises against you, I stand as your advocate. When sin seeks to chain you, I cover you with mercy. When the world points you to your past, I point to the cross, where every verdict was erased, where every burden was laid down. You need not look back, for every old trace has been washed by the blood of love. Walk with strength for you. Walk in heaven's favor. Do not fear failure, for my grace is greater than your faults. Do not fear losing your way, for I am the way. The doors opening before you are not pushed by you, but by me. Not merit, not maneuver, not luck, but my hand at work. And what I open no one can shut. What I bless no one can curse. What I begin I will finish. No power, no world, no person can interfere with the plan sealed by heaven. You need only stay near me. Keep your heart soft and your ears tuned to the gentle call, for I do not speak in clamor. My voice does not arrive like thunder, but like a passing breeze, like a whisper in the night, heard only by those whose hearts are at rest. Amid the noise of the world I am still speaking. Amid the disorder I am still guiding. When you are ready to listen, you will realize that not a single step you take is aimless. I will teach you what you need to know, show you what you need to see, and lead you where you need to go. Every tangled road will level beneath your feet, for I have gone before you and cleared the way. You will walk in the leading of light, no longer threatened by darkness, no longer afraid of the unknown. Everything you fear I have faced for you. Every place you dread I have already crossed. Every door that seemed sealed I have opened. Every barrier that seemed unbreakable I have shattered. The foundation for the new season has been laid. The promise stands fixed. You do not need to know every detail, only to trust. Faith is not a feeling but a daily choice. The choice to believe that I remain good, even when you do not yet see. Believe not because circumstances are trustworthy, but because I am trustworthy. Rest not because you understand everything, but because you know whose hand holds yours. Do not fear the days ahead, for I am already there. Do not be anxious about what has not yet come, for I have walked each step and set your footprints in their place. Stand firm, beloved, for my glory is rising upon you. Some will be astonished, some will doubt, but your very life will be the proof. They will not see the old self in you, but my image renewed, restored, radiant. And when you look back, you will know that every tear, every sigh, every dark day was a note in the great symphony. I am composing the symphony of grace, of hope, of resurrection. Let your heart open, for I am doing a new thing, and it begins within you and how you see, how you live, how you love, how you believe. Walk in peace, for heaven has declared it is enough. It is time to reap, time to sing, time to lift your head, and know that nothing ever meant to harm you has failed to become a blessing in my hands. All things will be reversed, not by fortune, but by the hand of the Almighty. And you, my beloved child, will stand in the wind of a new season, hands raised, heart overflowing, knowing that it was I who did this. My child, when strength ebbs, when your soul grows weary and sighs swell in your chest, do not strain yourself any longer. Rest in my arms, for their burdens cease, and peace remains. When your mind is tangled, when you waver at a crossroads, seek rest in my word. Every syllable I speak is the breath of life, the lamp to your path, the refuge for a trembling heart. And when you are weak, when your feet shake and cannot go on, rest in my strength, for my power is made perfect in your weakness. You were not made to carry everything, and I have never demanded that of you. You do not need to be a hero to be worthy of me. I loved you before you knew what strength was. The world teaches you to strive without ceasing, to save yourself, to hold everything in your grasp. But I teach you that true blessedness lies in releasing and in trusting and pausing to rest in my presence. Lay down everything you carry at my feet. Fear, anxiety, disappointment, pressure, all of it. Keep nothing back, for I alone can bear it without breaking. My child, there are too many voices in this world tugging at your soul. They promise shortcuts to success, instant tricks, lightning paths to wealth, glittering like gold in the sunday. But beneath those sweet promises lies the snare of emptiness. There is no 7-second ritual that can replace the journey of faith, no human secret that can rival the eternal wisdom that comes from me. Many have chased those mirages, thinking they held a magic key, only to lose their peace and even their souls. I say this not to condemn, but to awaken. Do not let the outer clamor steal your inner stillness. True wealth is not a number in an account, but the ability to sleep in the storm. Not having everything, but knowing you already have me. Guard your heart in my peace, for there lies a treasure no thief can steal. My child, I know how hard you have tried, how you have fought, endured, and told your heart to be strong. But now I say, let go. Hand me the burdens you have carried too long. Let me bear them, for your shoulders were not fashioned for such weight. I am the one who sustains the world without help. How much more can I keep your life complete? You do not need to understand, to control, or to know the outcome in advance. You need only to trust that I am always good, that all I do springs from love even when it puzzles you. Give me everything, your ruins, your unfinished dreams, your unanswered questions, and in exchange I will give you rest. Not a momentary rest of the body, but a deep rest of the soul, where you no longer have to prove yourself or strive to be loved, because you know you were loved before the foundation of the world. In this very hour, I tell you, it is time to walk in the fullness of your calling. Rise, shake off the dust of the past, for you are no longer the person of yesterday. Failures no longer define you, mistakes no longer accuse you, and the opinions of others are no longer the measure of your worth. I do not see you through the world's lens. I see you through the blood of the Redeemer, and in my eyes, you are a finished work, chosen, loved, and ransomed at a precious price. Forget the labels others once stuck to your life: failure, not enough, useless. For I removed them long ago. Only one name remains upon your brow, beloved child of God. You are defined not by your past, not by your wounds, not by public opinion, but by the truth I have spoken. And that truth cannot be shaken, even if the whole world changes. It declares that you are chosen, redeemed, and set apart for a high purpose. No one can bring low what I have lifted up. No force can break what I have sealed. You no longer need to prove your worth. Your very existence is evidence that grace is real. I have placed my light within you to shine in dark places, and no one can extinguish that lamp. Walk on, my child, not in fear but in faith. Walk not burdened but free. Walk as one who knows you are loved, protected, and guided. When you are tired, I will sustain you. When you are lost, I will find you. When you fall, I will raise you. I never grow weary of loving you. Each time you lift your eyes to me, all of heaven smiles, for a soul is returning to where it belongs. And as you go, remember, blessing does not come from grasping, but from resting in me. For only in me will you find true sufficiency. The world promises silver and gold, but I give you myself, the inexhaustible source of blessing. You need no 7-second secret to change your life. You need only one word from me, and the universe shifts. For when I speak, all things are made new, and when I touch, all things are restored. Believe this, beloved, you are not alone, not abandoned, not forgotten. You are in the hands of the one who made the heavens and the earth, who calls the stars by name, who understands every breath and every thought of yours. Rest in me, for there is your true home, the place where your soul is healed, and the place where you will hear most clearly my whisper. You are chosen, you are redeemed, and you are loved forever. Beloved, engrave this upon your heart. You are set apart, not for isolation, but for positioning in glory. There is a flame within you that no one can quench. It is the light I have placed to shine into the world's dark corners. What I have begun in you is not a passing idea, but an eternal design written by my very breath. No power, no circumstance, no human word can leave it unfinished. Everything I have appointed for you bears the mark of eternity, and once I speak, it is sealed with the authority of heaven. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the one who writes your story with an unshaking hand. No force is strong enough to amend what I have given. No hand can erase what I have engraved into your destiny. Therefore let your soul rest secure in my word, like a bird at home in the heart of the wind. Do not fear, do not be dismayed, for I will never leave you, never forsake you, never withdraw the love I proved at the price of my own life. You are never a burden to me, you have never wearied me. Though you may be weak, may fail, may stumble, I still look upon you with eyes of mercy. You are the beloved in my house, the precious jewel in the palm of my hand. My arms are always open, not to punish, but to receive, not to judge, but to comfort, not to imprison, but to lead you into freedom. When you lose your way, I run to you. When you fall silent, I whisper. When you collapse, I bend down and lift you up. Let yourself be held in my presence, a presence neither distant nor cold, but warm, with a love that does not change. Child, ready your heart, for the days ahead will carry the signs of a new season. At first they will come softly like a light breeze, skimming the leaves like coincidences that seem small but hold deep meaning. A passing word will touch your hidden ache. An opportunity will appear just when you thought every door had closed. This is not chance, these are my footprints. Then little by little you will see these things grow sacred connections, meetings you will know. Only I could arrange doors opening at the exact time, wounds you thought were carved deep beginning to soften and heal. That healing will not come from your striving, but from my kindness touching each tender place. You will not need to force or race to make miracles happen, for I myself am the one at work. Everything will unfold as naturally as the dawn. No one commands it yet. All recognize it when it arrives, and you will know it is I, not your effort. There will be moments amid the swells of change when you feel small, unready, not enough for the great thing that is opening. There will be times you ask, am I worthy? Is this grace too much for someone like me? But listen for my voice, gentle yet steadfast, saying that none of this has ever depended on your worthiness. If my love had to wait for you to be good enough before it gave, it would no longer be love. Grace is not a prize for the perfect, but a gift to those who admit their need to be saved. I love you not because you are faultless, but because I see what I have sown in you, and I will not cease to tend it until that seed breaks forth into a radiant season of bloom. My love is unconditional, inexhaustible, unfading. It covers your frailty, lifts you from shame, and brings you home to yourself. I do not love you because you have never erred. I love you even when you do. I do not reject you when you lose your way. I go looking for you in the night. Every step you take, even if halting, is precious in my sight, because it is turned toward me. Let go of the urge to understand everything, for some mysteries are unveiled only in stillness. Some answers arrive only after you have walked through the trial. Sometimes I am silent, not because I am far, but because I am teaching you to listen with the heart rather than the ear. Trust the process, even when it does not resemble your hope. Trust the pruning, even when it hurts. For the vine cannot bear fruit unless it is cut back. Each time I reach to take something away, it is not loss. It is the space for me to place something better. Trust even in the silence, for silence is where I speak the loudest. Though you do not see, do not feel, do not hear, I am there working behind the scenes, arranging each detail, joining each fragment, bending each path, until at last you recognize everything has always been under my control. I am the Lord God, unchanging, unsleeping, untiring. I am Alpha, the source of every good dream, and Omega, the end of every true hope. Before you knew me, I chose you. Before you loved me, I loved you. Before you understood the plan, I had already written it. And now, as you read these words, let your heart grow still, for I am speaking to you. You are not lost, not late, not left behind. All things are moving in rhythm, in season, in the way they should. You need only to step, to trust, and to yield. Live in that peace, a peace not born of ease, but of knowing you are never alone. When the wind shifts, I remain who I am. When day turns to night, I remain by your side. And when all around you seems to crumble, remember what I build, none can tear down. You are my workmanship, loved, kept, chosen for glory. Let this sink to the depths of your soul, so that though the world may change, you stand firm in a truth that never does. I am yours, and you are mine. Remember, my child, your calling is no accident, and your presence on this earth is no plaything of fate. You were not born merely to pass quiet days and then fade like a breeze. You were chosen, appointed, and breathed into, to carry light where darkness once reigned, to sow hope where people had despaired, to remind the world that love remains and heaven has not fallen silent. You are a messenger of the eternal, an instrument of the sacred. You do not belong to the temporary, or to fear. You belong to the kingdom that cannot be shaken. Therefore do not lose heart when you grow weary. Do not let go while the good work is unfinished. For when you think you have run dry, that is precisely when my strength begins to pour forth. Strength is returning to your very bones. Breath is being renewed in every cell, and the flame that once dimmed is kindling bright within your spirit. The wind is changing. You are no longer walking against the current. The current itself is turning to lift you. The atmosphere around you is shifting, not the gray sky of doubt, but the sky of promise, of faith, of a harvest drawing near. The months you spent waiting that seemed useless were in truth the season I was forming you in hiddenness. Each time you prayed without seeing an answer, you thought your words fell into emptiness, yet I heard them and stored every sigh in golden bowls in heaven. No word is forgotten, no tear is meaningless. Now the time has come, the old prayers are becoming action. The secret desires are being unlocked. Answers are being released, not in drops, but in a cataract of grace. Every word I have spoken will not return void. They are not passing winds, but seeds of power rooted in the soil of time. And now those seeds are sprouting. You will see what I promised begin to flower, the dreams I planted in you turning into reality. Do not be surprised if doors once closed swing open, if those who forgot you seek you out, if what seemed finished breathes again, for these are the signs of my word coming to pass. Yet in this season of blessing you must guard your heart. Not everyone will understand where you are going. Not everyone will see what I am doing in you. Some will envy, some will question, some will try to dim your light. Do not waste your strength explaining. Do not let their words pull you off course. Leave the distractions to me, and you keep your eyes fixed on me. For when you are focused on me, the world's noise cannot fragment you. When you attend to the light, the darkness cannot lay hold of you. Celebrate every victory, however small, for each forward step proves you are still moving in my will. Rejoice in progress, however slow, for every patient moment is a seed sown toward an eternal harvest. Rest in my timing, for I am neither late nor ever in a hurry. Everything arrives when you are ready, when you are strong enough to keep the blessing without losing yourself. You need not scramble to be remembered by me, nor raise your voice to be heard by me. I am here whole, abundant, unchanging. When you see others blessed, do not compare. Your portion is not theirs. When you feel you are moving slowly, do not despair. Your journey is measured by eternity, not by moments. I am still working in the quiet, arranging what you cannot imagine. Every corner of your life is being set in place to fit the great symphony I composed before all ages. Let your heart rest in that melody. Do not resist, do not doubt. For I am your inheritance, the unfading treasure, the joy that cannot be taken away. Though all things may change, I do not. Though people may betray, I remain faithful. Though the world turn to ashes, I endure, and therefore you are safe. Let your heart return to the simple place where you trust like a child. No argument, no fear, only trust. Come back to that holy ground where your joy is not in achievement but in companionship, where your peace does not come from the absence of trouble, but from the nearness of me. I want you to live with eyes wide open and a gentle heart like a child who knows that even when he falls, the Father will catch him. Even when it is dark, the Father still holds his hand. Such trust makes you stronger than 1,000 mighty ones. Let that faith become your breath, my love, your heartbeat, my presence, your way of life. When you live in this, no power can topple you, no hardship can extinguish the light within you. You were made to reflect my glory. You are a witness to my faithfulness, a bearer of warmth in the cold, a sower of peace amid the storm. And as you live this way, you will discover true happiness is not in what you possess, but in the one to whom you belong. Be at rest, take courage, and keep walking in. My light for the new season has opened, and you, yes, you are living in the fulfillment of promise. And now you will become a lighthouse on the fog-bound sea of life, the light in you, not from your own effort, but from my glory reflected through you. That light will not only illumine your path, but also signal safe harbor to wandering souls seeking hope. You will be a voice of wisdom, a gentle stream that refreshes parched hearts. People will come to you not for fame or station, but because they sense in you something beyond you, my very presence. In your words they will hear my voice. In your gaze they will see my mercy. In the smallest gestures they will touch my love. You will not need to strive to display it, for my glory will rest upon you like morning mist upon the mountain, quiet, natural, and impossible to hide. You have passed through the fire, and it has not consumed you. It has refined you like gold in the furnace. The flames of trial have burned away the false and the fragile, leaving only the essence I chose to keep. Now you shine not with the glare of the world, but with a light both gentle and deep, a light before which darkness recedes. You have crossed seasons of sorrow that seemed without end, and those very tears have carved compassion into your soul. For only those who have suffered truly know how to soothe another's pain. Those losses opened in you the door of mercy, teaching you to love not merely with words but with presence. I have seen you endure in silence, believe, without seeing love while wounded, and for this I now entrust you with what is to come. I do not give you riches for boasting, but for humble stewardship. I do not place glory on you to lift you above others, but so that through you others may see my hand. You were forged in secret, and now it is time to be set in the open, not for applause, but for my honor. You proved faithful when no one was watching. Now I will bless you before many witnesses. When the blessing arrives, remember, do not keep it to yourself. Pour out, my child. Pour out with joy, with gratitude, with wisdom. Do not fear lack, for your source is not in you, but in me, the one who never runs dry. The more you give, the more I will pour in. The more you love, the more I will widen your heart to love. The more you share, the more I will multiply. The unceasing flow of grace is your lifeblood. It moves through you to others, and within that very current you will find your perfect joy. You are about to witness what I once promised, the things you thought forgotten. The prayers you whispered through tears, seemingly scattered by the wind, I remember them still. No word is lost. No cry escapes my hearing. What you thought delayed has only been kept for the perfect time. Now the veil is lifting. Hidden things are about to be revealed. You will marvel as yesterday's petitions are answered in ways you never imagined. Promises you nearly let go are blossoming now. Do not call it coincidence. Everything is. My arrangement is skillful as a tapestry woven from 1,000 interlacing threads. You see the knotted underside, but I see the face perfect, radiant, and full of meaning. Before you behold that miracle, let the song of worship rise. Praise not because of what I do, but because of who I am. Sing while the doors are still shut, for that is the anthem of faith. Give thanks before you see a thing, for that is the act of a soul that knows I am still at work. This is the faith that moves mountains, the posture that stirs the heavens. When your lips still declare victory amid desolation, that is when you touch my heart. I do not seek perfection. I seek a heart that believes when everything seems to fall apart. And there I dwell among the praises within the melody of faith. Let your soul find rest, my child. Not a rest that hides, but a rest that trusts. For I am here neither distant nor late nor silent. I am leaning toward you with an unchanging love. I am doing more than you ask or imagine. You see only the surface, but I am moving in the depths. There is much I long to give. Do not assume the blessing has reached its peak. My well never runs dry. My storehouses never empty. My plans for you have no ceiling, no boundary, no expiry. You think you have seen the best, but I say to you, this is only the beginning. I delight to bless you not because of merit or achievement, but because you are my own. I do not love you for what you accomplish. I love you because you belong to me. I look upon you and I smile, for I see my own image in you. My joy is to see you walk in freedom, no longer chained by fear, sin, or the past. My joy is to see you live fully in the light where darkness finds no refuge. My joy is to see you rest in peace, holding your heart still like the face of a tranquil lake, even in a turbulent world. You were not fashioned merely to scrape by day to day. You were not created merely to survive. You are called to flourish not by the world's measure, but by the ways of heaven. You are called to a life that overflows, where every breath, every choice, every step bears the imprint of my glory. I have chosen you to prove that love can remake the world, that light still triumphs over darkness, that hope still rises from ashes. Live as one set free, for truly you have been delivered. Love as one unafraid to lose, for in me you already have all things. Believe as one beyond doubt, for I have never broken a promise. And as you keep walking into this new season, remember that all I do through you is not for your blessing alone, but so that through you the world may know I am alive, I am at work, I am love. You are my lighthouse, not to be exalted, but to guide others home to the eternal light. You are an instrument of peace, a herald of grace, a living witness to boundless mercy. And when you walk with such a heart, not out of duty but out of love, I will make every place you tread become blessed ground. I will give your words a healing power, your gaze a gentle warmth, and your very presence a nearness of heaven that others can sense. For I have chosen you, I have called you by name. I have made you a light in the night, a song in the desert, a river in the drought, and I never change my mind. My glory will cover you not in a flash, but like dawn spreading slow, steady, sure. Keep your heart tender, your faith steadfast, and know that from this day you do not live for yourself alone, but to shine my love upon many. This is your time, it is my season, and it is the moment when heaven and earth meet within your very life. Now let your heart open wide and offer me the most honest prayer from the depths of your soul, not by formality, but by the breath of faith, by the heartbeat of love and gratitude. Almighty God, maker of heaven and earth, keeper of my every breath, I lift to you a broken heart and a soul worn thin in waiting, now revived by your living breath. Grant me eyes of faith to see you in the midst of darkness, to doubt no more while the miracle is still growing in secret. Help me to walk not by feeling, but by the assurance that you are near. When I am weak, be my strength. When I lose my way, be my lighthouse. Make me faithful in the season you have placed me in, without comparison, without complaint, grateful that each trial is an invitation to draw nearer to you. Merciful Father who searches my heart, I know nothing in my life is random. You have written my story with love and purpose. Help me embrace this journey with faith and obedience. Though the world may not understand, I long to fulfill the mission you have entrusted to me. Anoint me afresh with your Spirit, that I may carry your light into places shadowed by darkness, that I may speak words that heal where the world only sows resentment. I choose not to live for human praise, but to live to please you. Lord, who called my name in the desert, you have seen every tear that fell, every sleepless night, every moment I thought I'd been forgotten. But now I know you never left me. Restore to me the joy I lost. Rekindle the flame of calling I allowed to grow dim. I do not wish to live as my old self, nor to retreat to what is safe. I want to walk in fresh strength, the strength of your Spirit. Let my heart not tremble before the wind, nor falter before the storm, but know that your hand holds me, and that is enough. Lord of boundless compassion, I thank you for not abandoning me in my weakness, for showing me mercy when I was unfaithful. Thank you that every morning is a new beginning, that your grace never runs out. I cannot count the blessings you have given, from breath to peace, to the privilege of loving and being forgiven. Lord of abounding grace, I thank you for hearing my small prayers, even when I scarcely believed they were worth hearing. Thank you for turning wounds into lessons, failures into strength, and tears into the gemstones of maturity. Thank you for weaving what seemed accidental into stepping stones toward my destiny. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we can build a strong community of faith.